Hi everyone, Teddy also welcome. Filbert, Violet, Gulshen, Mel, Rick, a watercolorist. Did I miss anyone? And obviously Teddy. Welcome everyone. It's been a while. Well, it's actually I just skipped a week. Also, let me thank you very much. That's good to hear. And let's get this a little bit less sensitive for my shirt, at least. Ooh, that's dark. I think this is better-ish. I'm not quite sure. I'll just keep it like this. NY20 is over there, and there's a violet background over here. Everything's a mess. Luckily, I'm making a lot of noise today. Basically, what I'm doing, I made another batch of, another batch, it's not even a batch. I made a bit of manganese green, extra, twice calcinated to check everything if my kiln is, working again fully. And I thought maybe make it extra fine, see how, if that changes everything before the calcination. And I used my muller for it. I wanted to lift it, but I already changed the camera angle. I wanted to use my muller for it, and I did. But manganese oxide is a hell to clean out of and of surfaces. I really need to use a very nasty chemical to kind of bite it out of the pestle and mortars I'm using for it. Sentient, welcome. But I also noticed I made some scratches in my muller, very superficial. There were I couldn't even feel it, not with my nail, not anything in the surface, but it stayed black, just lines. Also, I did some experimentations with Indian yellow and variations of that, and my slab stayed a faint yellow after cleaning it. So just before I went live, I decided let's put some silicium carbide or carborundum powder on my slab to clean everything and really get ready for making paint again. And I know you love this sound, so luckily I've already been doing it for a couple of minutes. The lines have disappeared out of my muller, and I don't think I see any yellow left on my slab. But sometimes it's really necessary to do a good deep clean with your glass tools, and now I noticed I wanted to make a color that I think I never made before. And I took this one, I cleaned it, and I really didn't see the black disappear. Same with my slab, so cheers. One thing, the carborundum is, well, that's definitely clean. It's a lot harder to fully clean from your slab, because the drier it gets, what happens when you wipe it off the first time, the more pasty it's going to get as well. So this almost looks like a clay. So you need to really give it a few, as you can hear, thorough washes before you start making paint. If the pigment I'm going to make tonight into paint is turning out to be a one that I really like, I'm not going to add it to my line of paint. I don't think I have enough of the pigment, but I will do it if I manage to replicate it tomorrow, because just before the live I also went and did some calculations for. No, it doesn't work as a pigment at all, actually. I did some calculations to get the measurements right for 5 grams of the pigment, so I can test that tonight. So if I like this pigment, it will be a combination of a paint making / pigment making live, if you don't mind, obviously. I think this is, that's good. I think that was necessary as well. Now carborundum doesn't I lost my word for No, I'm not going to admit, I'm not even going to explain what kind of word I lost. This is terrible. I'm really ashamed of this. Dispersion. Wow. It doesn't disperse well at all. It stays like I said, showed it becomes kind of a clayish when it dries, and it doesn't want to disperse at all. It doesn't want to equally spread out over the binder. Maybe a very, very fine version. I'm not using that because that wouldn't help me with my glass. I think I do have it, an 800 grit, maybe 1000 even. That might work. That might work. I mean, there's natural pigments that don't go finer than 50. But that's not grit, that's micrometers. It's definitely finer than some natural pigments. But no, I wouldn't try it. This feels good. This feels good. You should feel it. This feels really. This was necessary. It was long overdue. Okay, so the pigment I'm going to make. Let's see if I can actually get that here. I think I can. There we go. P-O-A-T 6 bismuth orange. Let's have a look. I have a spoon, I have a brush, and I think I'm still in need of a piece of paper. Let's see if I can grab one from here. Let's take it from the orange section, right? That's better. I got myself a piece of paper. And thanks for joining, everyone. Quite a bunch already. Let's have a look which one would work best with this. I think, what shall I do? Big or small? I'm not going to make a lot of paint. So I'll just do this, I'm just going to do a smaller one. Or, if people prefer this one, the look of it or anything, let me know. Bismuth orange. One would need bismuth oxide for that, vanadium pentoxide, and molybdenum oxide. Lady, welcome. And molybdenum oxide. Not the safest stuff. It's quite harmful. So let's have a look. That would take an hour-ish for that. That would take an hour as well. I don't think this needs a long time. Well, if you sprinkle copper on them, on what glue, you basically get a sand pad. I think we're going for the smaller one right now. I'm not going to make a lot of it. Enough for some dots, 2, 3. I don't know. Zantrua, welcome. Have a look. Let me have a look. I just noticed, by the way, I haven't worked with bismuth oxide before making any pigment. So that will be new as well. Same as this orange, though it looks an awfully lot like PO62. Looking at it like this. Bismuth oxide. I think it's one of the heavier oxides that I have. And this is only 50 grams, but only like this amount. It's very carroty. Mel, your Indian yellow swatches, they have been haunting me in a good way, but also in a way that, like, it's kind of my especially the Reeves one. The other one looks a lot like my own swatch. And with Indian yellow, I know it really doesn't look like anything with the orange in the background, but I managed to get it an orange like this with adding a little bit of turmeric, and that's cheating. That's a terrible way of cheating. But I may have found a way to tweak my recipe in a way that I might get the orange out of it, because what I've showed before, when I'm hydrolyzing the very first start, it's a kind of pastel orange UV reflection that it gives. I know there's orange in there. I know that. I just need to get it out in some way. So that's been kind of haunting me, because I've seen the Reeves one that's so pure, but this one, I know it's not as orange, but this comes really close to the other one, especially under UV. Not as is that right? Is that with this one? It's still like a bright highlighter yellow here, but there's an way more of an orange glow. But this is a terrible background to use as that as an example. Hey, what's colorist? Welcome again to the chat. Also, actually, I wanted to do that tonight, but then I thought, oh no, it's Wednesday. Forgot about that. And my 3D printer's on, and that still takes, I think, 2 hours before that's finished. For that tweak in the Indian yellow recipe, ideally, I needed a centrifuge, one of those chemical centrifuges, or one of one you see at the in hospitals as well. Those are, you can get them like for 50 euros. I know, Mel, but I know, but let me just say my unpurified version, like the genuine, the raw piece of pigment, the unpurified pigment piece that I made into paint, it's actually kind of the same as the other one, but maybe even a little bit less brownish orange. I know it's still quite, I mean, it's not that brownish, but you know what I mean. Imagine really purifying that pigment. I think it is possible to get really close to the Reeves one, or maybe it is pure and very purified. So I'm just setting the bar high, and I've made chemically pure Indian yellow, the entire process, everything. You've all been part of it, made possible by everyone here. If you're not one of those persons, just feel bad and send the donation. Otherwise, no, just kidding. No, but made possible by the people in the chat from YouTube. Chemically pure, the only thing, it really sounds like the other way around, but I need to unpurify it, I think. I need to contaminate it with the things that have been in it in nature. I'm not going to pee in it, don't worry. But I can leave like traces of salts and traces of whatever is in there, to kind of get a reaction going, maybe. So yeah, I have some thoughts what I'm going to do tomorrow with my Indian yellow. No, not at all. Not at all. So it's nothing like the one that that was sold as Indian yellow. It's a warm, obviously. All Pigment, Real Gar. It's red, orange cousin, niece, whatever, sibling, kin. That's like red, orange. And Pigment is obviously a warmer-ish yellow, but I wouldn't say it's anything close to that. In transparency, in the differences in mask tone and washes, I think this is finished. By the way, this is really smooth. Right, so what I'm going to do with this, going to paint it out, going to put it under the spectrometer to see how close is this to oranges that I already have. For me, it's, I would say PO62 is a little bit more yellow. But I also want to take that back as soon as I've said it. Oh wait, sorry, I completely misread that, Rick. Is this orange more or less the same hue as orpiment? No, orpiment is, or we're talking about this? Or, or an Indian yellow? Sorry, I'm really confused right now. I thought you were talking about the Indian yellow. And maybe you were. Makes more sense in my head. Yeah, Mr. Pigment, that's what I just said. Realgar as the more reddish orange family member of that pigment. Yeah, this is a very permanent, very stable pigment. No, I didn't. This is a bismuth orange that I have, but just before the live, Mr. Pigment, I figured out. Rewatch it, all be on time. I'm repeating myself here. If I like this, if this is something like unique, I have figured out the recipe for this. So I'm going to make it in this live as well. Not the Indian. Well, this is definitely not the same as orpiment. As you all know by now, this Indian yellow is orpiment. It's just painful. So this is orpiment, right? So there you go. It's not as orange, but definitely. It's not comparable with Realgar as well. It's Realgar is way more like a deep a redder orange. So letting this dry. Putting this on the side. That's okay. Mr. Pigments, it's I'm going to have a look how toxic this is as a pigment. It's quite heavy, and I've been careful, but I've been wearing a mask for way too long today already, so it's really lazy. I am sorry. I'm going to check that. Not very professional of me to do it in this order, I know. But if it's dangerous, I'll let you know. So you won't make the same mistake. No, it's not toxic or dangerous. At least not enough to mention it. And Roman is the only one who offers it as a watercolor. Oh, the oh yes, oh the ultimate ink, yes. That or in the bin? No, maybe no. I do have the pigment as well, so it's a good idea. I actually wanted to take this along for an Indian yellow video. I've been planning for a way too long time now, but I'm going to skip this one or not. Shall I include this one or skip it? That's up to you. People, welcome. Search for nicks. I know this is not dry yet, but I'm going to connect it anyway. Dirty blue nicks, there we go. Connected, and let's add a color patch. Orange, and I think I'm going to start with 62, PO62 for this. Well, it's promoted, but it's taken off the list. It's taken off artistpigments.org as well, same day. So there's no official supplier for NY20 yet. But I only want to start offering a pigment if I'm really, absolutely 100% satisfied with it. My manganese green, this is the second pair. I'm really happy with this version, what it looks like. It does look a little bit like as it looks here, the stable version, washed and all. It does look a little bit like bottle green, cobalt green, or flashegroen, I think it is. Or I just cursed. My apologies for that. I'm not quite sure. I think it's bottle green. It looks a little bit like that. But I think it really still behaves differently. Also, manganese green, like no one's seen this before. So everyone who looks at my channel, who's seen my channel and my lives and the video about manganese green, we're the first, maybe the only ones who know that what manganese green looks like. Just going to take another sip. Yeah, Mr. Pigments, basically, before I wash it, it's a very granulating viridian green. But it really needs to be washed, since the washing water, I want to say bath water, it gets really purple because of the manganese oxide that like hasn't reacted, that's still in there. And that needs to get out because that's not in a stable form for watercolors or not paint. Yeah, absolutely. And I can still make that. I've written everything down meticulously. I can offer both versions. They both don't have a pigment number, so I can just call one manganese very green and one manganese moss green, or one very green and one variant green. I don't know. think this. Oh no, it wasn't. There's one song in here. I'm using audio with 2 eyes in the word, which is a streaming service for copyright-free music if you pay for the subscription. I got a copyright notification on YouTube, and I have to share my income for one live with that band who actually offers their music here, which is completely like not what it's supposed to do. It's against everything this is supposed to do, against everything I'm paying for. I'm actually not paying a lot for it, but and it was only a once in a lifetime payment for this. But still, everything I play here shouldn't have any copyright issues on YouTube. I just had it clean. Luckily, this is a lot easier than the Indian yellow I was making to clean off. It is very different. It's now an actual green, yeah. And Mr. Pigment, you want both versions? We can make that happen. We should meet in talks anyway about what kind of pigments you're still interested in. Is it dry already? Not yet. Well, time for this one. Maybe I need to build something underneath here so I can just put it on there. Maybe let it hang lower. I don't want it to heat my glass. I have a glass desk as well and my slab. I don't want it to heat it up too much. Kind of, I'm not afraid, but I'm being very careful. I just want to stick it in here and just let it dry. Tomorrow I'm going to make something for this as well. The return of the chicken lamp. Here we meet again, chicken lamp. It's been a long time, my friend. Definitely going to use this a lot more in the winter. Just going to lay underneath here. Almost there. Make sure it's steady here, otherwise I'm going to get this thing on my head. Going to take another drink. My Benzie is... Which one? This one. This ready? On the screen. Benzie Midazolam Orange, aka PO62. I mean the wash side is already ready, so we can test it. We can test it. What's it gonna do? Wow! I mean, spot on in the top, but this is definitely more orange. This is why is it? Look at this difference. This is the sample, and this is what I'm scanning right now. And these are all freshly scanned swatches that I put in my library here. Your petting cats. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Cats have control over your life. They actually control most of what you do, Mr. Pigment. So be aware. If you ever need help for just your lab, I do fear for the rest of you. But yeah, this is, I mean, like, definitely different. Which is the lamest way to explain it. Funny thing, it is way more orange, while it's actually just, you know, it's only reflecting more greens, not even more yellows, more greens, cyans, blues, and violets, making this a deeper orange than just, you know, a slight hint of green, a lot of yellow, and then all that red. That's what the computer says. And although I do trust, I mean, this is my Indian Yellow PY153. I'm not going to call it my Indian Yellow anymore. I'm just going to call it nickel dioxide yellow. I've been way too much into pigment making, guys. This is terrible. I mean, it's still in the back of my head, but I really need to search for it. Same as this swatch. I don't even want to hear it. Don't even mention it. Well, this is weird. This is PO62 here. How is this that much different? Did I swatch a wash? This is not possible. Did I make my did I swatch a wash? I have to have swatched a wash, right? Okay. Just to be absolutely, you saw it, right? That's this. That's not a wash. And if I scan this in its master tone right now, by the way, I'm definitely going to get something different. Not even that much. Oh wait, it's reference and sample. Wait, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. I've had a too long. My day was too long. So this is now okay. Never mind. My day was too long. My mistake. Just, you know, wind it back 8 minutes and delete it. That's a reminder to myself for when I'm going to edit this. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm fully open for my mistakes. We're going to take responsibility for this. My mistake. I've read that wrong. Maybe my life should be earlier, like early in the morning, just as soon as I start, because this is just... Okay, so this, let me just get it clear. This is Benzie orange, and this is bismuth orange, right? This line, Benzie orange, red line, bismuth orange. But that doesn't change the fact that those are just very different oranges, which makes it interesting for me to actually make it. Right, so let's do that. General error. Love the username. and welcome. New in the chat, I think. Would you call it industrial orange? That is... I'm going to look it up. I'm going to just look up the differences. It's a very interesting question. Industrial orange filament. If we take, let's say, Polymaker, right? Polymaker has, I think, has some good images. I think you're actually just going to open this image only. I think this is fairly close, and there's an obvious difference between what you see on my screen and what you see on the camera here. But yeah, that's I like that comparison. This is definitely heat resistant. I mean, I'm going to make it. What did I safely say? It's 900-ish degrees ish, 800, 850. I think 800 is a little bit higher. 810 would be safe for me. Let's take everything. Also, they suggested to use an agate pestle and mortar. Look what I happen to have. I've had this for a while now, and I'm only using this for very special pigments that can not use any contamination at all from anything chemically fully clean and pure. Very hard, very expensive to the other things that I have. Wait, what? General error. You need 350 degrees Celsius max for making a master batch. What do you mean?
A master batch of what exactly?
Thanks, Ian.
Oh, Rick. Your auto correct is Hilarious. If this is autocorrect, by the way, let's have a look for. Or is that really a thing? Strange people here in the chat. Ho ho ho! Nailed that. Alright, let's have a look. Don't shoot 7. Oh yeah. But the general error, the master batch are pellets. Pellets, they're already processed, and basically they come out of a dispersion mixed into something that can melt. So they're already dispersed so finely into the kind of binder that they're in pellet form. They're not the same as dry powdered pigment. With, for instance, I'm going to,
Since the dangerous stuff is still closed. With phthalo blue, for instance, there's different. If I order phthalo blue, or if I order anything from anything but Kramer, for instance, if I don't order from companies that sell pigments for making paint, I always need to fill in forms what my intended use is, if that's the first time ordering there. So if it's plastics, coatings, water-based paints, cosmetics, whatever, there's pigments that are literally the same pigment number that we know, like PB15, that has a version for textile, for cosmetics, for plastics, for water-based paint or coatings in a more general way. There's like 4 or 5 different versions of the same pigment number or color index number, based on how they're formed and their end use. So yeah, as you can see, I'm making the pigment out of a pastel custard yellow, a mustard yellow powder. I haven't used molybdenum before, so I'm not quite sure what color that is. I'm going to have a look.
do we need the safety glasses as well? No, right. Lulu, welcome. How much of this stuff? 4. Okay. How much grams is this? Danger. Yeah, no kidding. Let's have a look. That's already too much. Alright, let's have a look how we can fix this. Yeah, I'm going to. see if this was contaminated in any way. No. Okay. I think this is looking pretty good. I'm going to get a crucible. Let's have a look. This feels very special and also fragile, but it's one of the stronger materials I have when it comes to these tools. Yeah, we can already cook it. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to put this in the kiln and I'm going to wash my hands.
So right now my ventilation sucking all the air outside, also from within the kiln, is on. I will turn my kiln on. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to quickly check one thing. I think I'm going to need to mull it once more because I did kind of wetten it a little bit with alcohol, and that's going to evaporate right now. But it says to mull it to mull it or grind it up very finely. So I'm going to let it dry right now. I'm going to throw it in here in 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to really cook it. Okay, so that's it. Why is that? Because everything needs to be mixed really, like the reaction needs to happen evenly. And I don't want to screw this up because I don't have a lot of bismuth oxide or molybdenum oxide, but especially bismuth oxide. Since that's like the base material for this, and if this works and if this really becomes a pigment, like 50 grams of this oxide is quite a lot. Like I can make at least 60 grams of pigment eventually when it comes to this. 55 maybe. It's really weird because this pigment doesn't weigh anything at all. It's kind of not kind of sure what to expect. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to make mistakes here. There's no room for that. But what I did want to say, and I'm just going to shut this down. You probably hear my ventilation. You maybe hear my 3D printer as well, but you do not hear the kiln, which made a lot of noise, as some of you know before. I replaced all the parts, all the electronic parts, the relays, the everything, switches, everything analog, by the way, but I replaced everything. I did a old parts hunt on eBay. Because when I did break it, because of that very disappointing pigment I made before, the kiln killer violet, I didn't know where to look. So eventually it was the thermocouple, as I mentioned back then, but I ordered most of the other parts already, and I replaced the last part this week, and it doesn't make any noise at all. I just don't hear it. I hear the click when it turns on. That's it. It's as good as new. I've cleaned the inside, checked all the heating wires. There's a new thermocouple, and there's all the electronics are new. The wiring isn't. I contacted the company, Heraios, German company, and they don't know anything about this anymore. They don't make kilns anymore, or furnaces or anything. I contacted the company that took that department from them, and they weren't around when this was being produced. There's no manual online anywhere. I've asked ChatGPT, and even that couldn't find it. So I figured out everything myself. I'm really proud of that part, but it doesn't make any noise anymore, and it works perfectly. And I automated it. I can just dial it down with my phone, like I want to have it 600 degrees, and just turn on 600 degrees, because I put one of the smart home blind shutters on it. I showed you that, right? Probably I have. I'm probably boring people right now as well. My apologies for that. It's already really hot. Like I have the glove on because it's heating up terribly quickly. I'm going to leave this on. I should put on my mask as well. Oh.
Okay, I'll just wash my hands for this because I just want to do this really quickly. And then put it in the kiln again. Thank you, Lulu. It's already kind of orange, it's not lovely, that's just because of the... Never mind, just forget what I just said. Going to put it on this one. And I'm going to put it back.
Raising the temperature as well, and put my timer on 1 hour and a half. So, well, tomorrow I know if I make bismuth orange. So tomorrow I know if I can make bismuth orange. This is definitely off in color. I want to say we can fix it when I open this, but probably the camera is going to be weird again. Or not? Are you going to get weird? I'm not going to get weird? Yeah, you're going to get weird. There you go. Why are you being weird? Now your color is completely off. Weird camera. Am I still? Yeah, okay. That looks a little bit better. Anyway, it's only been 1 hour and 10 minutes, but I kind of did everything what I wanted to do. Made bismuth orange. I made bismuth orange. And I just noticed that this is orange as well here, but only because there's like a rectangular line. A diagonal line in the screen right now, from the on the bottom here to the swatch to that thing. This just like from larger to smaller. Not seeing this. No, that doesn't really help. Is there anything? Yeah, we're not going to talk about whatever is weird over there, because I've just lost the camera connection. Oh yeah, the cable wasn't in right. Well, let's just get rid of the camera. it's there again. Is there anything you would like to see? Otherwise, I think I'm going to focus on making the centrifuge for my other endeavor in my Indian yellow recipe. Well, I've written down my recipe and it's hanging right over here right now, just out of sight, so no one can see it. I've written all my steps down, and sometimes just I'm looking at it and I really think, okay, maybe I can just, you know, improve that, just visualize it, which really helps for me. And then I thought, you know, I need to add a filtration step, because, like I said, what I was doing was chemically pure. But what I was also doing is ha, that's funny, Ian. Take it for a spin, because you know it turns around that you are joker. You are. Have you heard of Goro-chan? To be honest, I have not. I'm now looking up Goro-chan. Holy cow! Because it's one from a holy cow. Sorry about that. That is expensive. And not so much, but also, yes, very much. 1 gram, 5 grams, 2 how much is a stone? 10 grams. Is that would be oh, it's not that bad. Well, one thing I can show is this is a very tiny bit of the curcuma lake pigment that I made. I want to call it lake pigment. It's not technically a lake pigment. I can quickly show you what that gives us as a color. Interestingly, curcuma does have some similar active ingredients in it, especially when you make an extract out of it, that you can see under UV. Oh, that was not very spectacular. Let me have a look. Is it visible here at all? Well, it's visible here. I mean, here you have the like orangey kind of yellow reflection, whereas, you know, if you compare it to bismuth orange, that's just grayish orange blue, where, you know, this really acts the same as Indian yellow, less aggressively, but very much that it stains your fingernails even after washing it 5 times. Oh, and that is a beautiful orange. This is blue glass. This is weird. Also, I have something new. A uranium glass. Haha, there you go. I found it just like literally today when I was in the thrift shop buying an old ventilator. I found this. Gulchen, I don't know. I know you're not drinking, but I think you can appreciate the brand and this version of it. I mean, a uranium glass Hoegaarden, frosted as well, glass, which is weird. Also, I'm not quite sure if it's really uranium or not. The Geiger counter did do some things, but then it died again because I didn't charge it enough last time. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Anyway, it only costed €1 as well, so I didn't waste any money there. So this is more of a kind of it's still brownish, but definitely like in the UV range, a more orangey. This is pure turmeric. It lost a little bit of its vibrant orange in the process of making it a pigment. You know, that's what happens. And I can quickly just show you what it looks like on paper. Yeah, if you lost your beer, just shine a black light, just, you know, in whatever room you are, and you'll find your glass again. Just quickly, not on my fingers, quickly, just as this doesn't even have binder in it, so this is a terrible. This was a test. It is like it's a more pure version over there in the dryer. Oh, there you go. In the mass tone, it's better. That's what it's about for me. There you go. I need that part, like that orangey kind of. This was my very pure Indian yellow, which I did let ferment. So this is why it says ferment, but it didn't really do anything. This was the one that wasn't right. This is my chemically pure. This is my chemically pure with turmeric added, and this one matches. I showed that on Instagram. This one matches the original Indian yellow. So that's a yay. That's a win and a little bit of a cheat, but what are we going for? I'm going to put a pull out, and then I'm going to. Let's have a look. Which version? Right, I've started a poll. I don't know if it works. It probably does. Which version, chemically pure version or enhanced to match the real deal? Let me know. That is weird, Sentient. That is very interesting, but also very weird. Ooh, 50-50 now. 60-40, 67-33, 62-38. Also with a enhanced version, I mean, excuse me for the cutout. This is the pure version, this is the enhanced version. An enhanced version will give you a more of a, what we know as Indian yellow color. So, if you want to change your vote, I don't know if it's even possible. Can you change your vote? I can't even vote. So yeah. If you want to change your vote, let me know in the chat as well. Like, okay, I've chosen this, but I'm going to take it back. But I think Chemical Pure is winning. Which means I definitely need to spend time on the centrifuge. Add a filtration step and see if I can get orange out of it. Right now, this isn't Indian yellow. Right now, this is my turmeric lake pigment. Still smells kind of spicy, earthy. Got to give the people what they want. Well, there's more people voting now for enhanced. Compared to... you can't change your vote. Okay. I think, you know, going by general error, if you want to change it to enhanced, it's 50-50 now. I thought that comes down to 50-50, but it's 50-50 now anyway. So yeah. I want to say I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but chemically pure enhanced. Chemically pure enhanced. I'm literally not sure what to make of it. Gotta give the people what they want. I want to have both versions. It's not making it any easier for me, guys, but that's okay. Enhanced version is winning 55% over 45%. I can just end it and use the enhanced version. But I'm not going to leave it at, I mean, literally, if I can get a yellow that looks like anything like this, without adding any turmeric to it, that is that is my go-to. I want chemically a most like historically accurate version. That is also chemically clean and reproducible, right? I need to be able to make it. Fermenting it, luckily, it didn't do anything. because if fermenting the pigment did anything, I don't have enough control over all the steps and knowledge about the steps of fermenting to make that something I can keep making consistently. 42.58. Enhanced is winning. Well, I really thought that this was a uranium glass muller. Why? This is why. But this can be manganese as well. And the Geiger counter that I have isn't really sensitive enough to read anything from this. I really doubt its capability anyways lately. But yeah, this is something that is not very regular. Same as this, by the way. Not uranium, but it is something that needs. It is something pink. Whereas, a regular glass muller isn't doing anything. Like if I do it here, you see the yellow from like here, but it's not giving. It's my hand. It's not doing a lot. Whereas this one is really doing something differently. Shall I ask Thomas, who made this one, to make a small glass uranium muller? If he wants to work with it, I don't know if he wants to. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day. An hour and a half. 20 viewers. That's been more than last week because I wasn't live back then. Let me know if you want to see something in the next stream or what you want to see in the next stream. Might be that I will go online tomorrow morning because there's a bright looking orange in my kiln waiting for me. Maybe there isn't, so I won't be online. So turn on your notifications if you want to know if my orange worked or not. So you'll be the first one to join this live stream and can beat a watercolorist to be to saying first on my stream. So if you feel anything for that. If you don't, that's fine as well. Hope you like the stream. Hope to see you again soon. Probably going to be live a little bit more often. Really depends on how everything's going, but like if my head is fully like in the Indian yellow, I need to make it orange. I might forget it. If something flies to my head when I'm trying out the centrifuge tomorrow, you won't be seeing me online at all anymore. So hopefully that doesn't happen as well. I mean, I fixed the kiln. How hard can a centrifuge be, right? Well, hopefully you see me somewhere. Hopefully you see me tomorrow. That means that the orange worked and the centrifuge didn't kill me. Thanks, guys. See you soon.